Welcome to Jeju and ASIP conference. Thank you for attending. My name is Ki Seok Kwon from Hanban National University, South Korea. I'm so happy that in spite of COVID situation, we have many participants here as well as online participants. The main theme of this conference is pandemic, innovation, and Asia. Throughout this conference, we are going to talk about against the pandemic situation, the role of technological innovation, and different countries' response to the pandemic. So, first of all, we are going to invite the president of ASIP, Asian Society of Innovation and Policy, President Young-Ju Ko. He's also president of DSTEP, South Korea. Please welcome Young-Ju Ko.
Many experts and emerging scholars and grad students across Asian countries and Korea here in Jeju University and online. Welcome to 11th Asian Society for Innovation and Policy 2021 conference. I'm very much pleased to host ASIP 2021 conference even in the situation of COVID-19. First of all, I would like to express my deep gratitude. First of all, co-host organizations, Korea Institute of Human Resources Development Science Technology, Korea Institute of Science Technology Information, Daejeon Sejong Research Institute, and many supporters organizations, STEP, CNU, UCAST, GNU, KIM, and GT Science, and Jeju University online operator Murefa, as well as participants who took time out of their busy October schedule and COVID-19 situation to attend this conference. We especially invite distinguished keynote speakers, Jo Seung-rae, a member of National Assembly, Executive Secretary of Science, ICT, and Broadcasting and Communications Committee, who has made big contribution to innovation of Korea with a couple of significant lawmaking. Moon Mi-ok, President of Science Technology Policy Institute, who has contributed to Korea's science technology policy and governance. Jung Jae-geun, President of Daejeon Sejong Research Institute, who has been a great expert in the fields of international collaboration. We could get intellectual knowledge and great insights from their keynote speakers. I'd like to thank them very much indeed. This ASIP 2021 conference also consists of 16 regular and special sessions and some round-table discussions and tutorial sessions with great presentations, papers, and discussions with theme of pandemic, innovation, and Asia. Participants to this ASIP 2021 conference through offline meetings and online contact will learn new approaches to innovation, many successful cases, and development of science technology and innovation policy. I hope all of you not only contribute to this event, but also enjoy your time. This ASIP annual conference is 11th this year. We have made our successful Asian Society for Innovation and Policy Development and support for future talented scholars and experts for the last 11 years. We will never stop our efforts both to build strong network across Asian countries and to contribute to future co-evolution of Asia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President of ASIP. As he mentioned, we have three keynote speakers. The first speaker is the member of National Assembly, Seung-rae Cho. Regrettably, he couldn't get here, but he sent a video message for us. He's going to talk about the recent legislative activity on monopoly global big firms' power. Okay, let's watch it together.
안녕하세요. 오늘 컨퍼런스에 참가하신 연구자 여러분 반갑습니다. 11번째 컨퍼런스 개최를 진심으로 축하드립니다. 우선 제 소개부터 간단히 드리겠습니다. 저는 대한민국 국회의원 조승래라고 합니다. 대한민국 국회의 과학기술정보방송통신위원회에 속해 있고 더불어민주당 간사를 맡고 있습니다. 제 지역구는 대한민국의 중심 대전이고 과학의 도시 유성구입니다. 대전과학산업진흥원 고용주 원장님과 대전에서의 인연으로 오늘 아시아기술혁신학회 컨퍼런스에서 기조연설을 하는 영광을 얻었습니다. 저도 제주 현장에서 함께하고 싶었습니다만 1년에 한 번 대한민국 국회의 가장 중요한 역할인 국정감사가 진행되고 있어서 이렇게 영상으로 인사드립니다. 제가 오늘 소개할 주제는 세계 최초 구글 갑질 방지법 입법, 디지털 경제 시대 선진국 대한민국입니다. I am a Korean. 나는 한국인이다. 포트나이트로 유명한 미국 게임 회사 에픽게임즈의 창업자 팀 스위니가 구글 갑질 방지법, 전기통신사업법 개정안이 대한민국 국회 본회의에서 통과되자 올린 트윗입니다. 1963년 미국의 케네디 대통령이 서베를린을 방문해서 했던 유명한 연설인 나는 베를린 시민이다 를 본떠서 전 세계의 개발자들은 자랑스럽게 말할 수 있다. 나는 한국인이다. 라고 찬사를 보낸 것입니다. 한국 국회의 담대한 리더십은 공정한 앱 생태계를 만들기 위한 싸움에서 기념비적인 발걸음을 남겼다라는 해외 반응도 있었습니다. 한국의 문재인 대통령도 우리가 플랫폼 사업자의 의무를 세계 최초로 법률로 규정한 것은 자부심을 가질 만한 일이다 라며 높이 평가했습니다. 그러면 이제 제가 지난해 9월 대표 발의하고 1년 동안 논의를 주도적으로 이끌었던 전기통신사업법, 이른바 구글 갑질 방지법에 대해서 소개하겠습니다. 구글 갑질 방지법은 작년 구글이 자사의 앱마켓 플레이스토어에 입점한 앱 개발사에게 자사의 결제 시스템, 인앱 결제를 강제로 적용하겠다는 정책을 발표하면서부터 시작됐습니다. 구글의 결제 시스템만 이용하도록 함으로써 앱 내에서 발생하는 모든 거래에 30%의 수수료를 부과하려는 것이었습니다. 곧바로 전 세계의 앱 개발자들과 콘텐츠 제작자들은 반발했습니다. 대한민국 국회에서도 이런 의견들을 받아서 입법 움직임을 시작한 것입니다. 통과된 법의 주요 내용은 이렇습니다. 플랫폼인 앱마켓 사업자가 우월한 지위를 이용해 행하는 일방적인 갑질 행위를 금지하고 앱마켓을 이용하는 이용자와 개발사를 보호하려는 것입니다. 구체적으로 세 가지의 금지 행위를 새롭게 규정했습니다. 첫 번째로는 가장 핵심적인 내용인 앱마켓이 자사의 결제 시스템만 쓰도록 강요하는 행위를 금지했습니다. 또한 앱마켓이 앱을 일방적으로 삭제하거나 심사를 지연하는 행위도 금지 행위에 포함했습니다. 모바일 생태계를 장악한 앱마켓이 이러한 행위들을 통해서 앱 개발사들의 고율의 수수료를 부과하고 앱을 삭제하거나 심사를 지연하면서 앱 개발사를 플랫폼에 종속시킨다는 지적이 있었기 때문입니다. 앱마켓에서 일어나는 결제와 환불에 관한 조치를 하도록 하고 앱마켓의 실태를 조사하는 근거도 규정했습니다. 이를 통해서 스티브 잡스와 레리 페이지가 아주 허름한 착오에서 애플과 구글을 창업해서 시가총액 2,800조 원, 1,100조 원에 달하는 빅테크 기업을 만들었듯이 후속 개발자들도 이러한 기회와 도전을 누릴 수 있도록 개방적이고 공정한 생태계를 유지할 수 있게 되었습니다. 국내는 물론이고 전 세계의 개발자들이 환호하는 이유입니다. 이 법을 논의하면서 경험했던 결정적인 순간 세 가지를 간단히 소개해 볼까 합니다. 첫 번째, 국제적인 연대와 공조의 힘입니다. 논의가 막 시작되던 작년 국정감사에서 저는 미국 하원의 반독점위원회 소위원회에서 발표했던 보고서를 찾아서 국내에 소개했습니다. 보고서는 구글과 애플이 OS 시장을 장악한 힘을 배경으로 앱마켓 시장에서도 부당하게 영향력을 행사한다는 내용이었습니다. 우리나라만의 대한민국만의 이슈가 아닌 것을 확인했습니다. 미국의 시민단체인 앱 공정성 연대 CAF와 연대도 효과적인 전략이었습니다. 미국의 애리조나주에서 논의를 주도했던 레지나 콥 법사위원장, CAF 임원 등과 온라인 컨퍼런스를 열어서 공감대를 형성했고 통상 마찰 우려도 해소했습니다. 미국의 연방하원 법사위원회 반독점 소위원장인 데이비드 시슬리니 의원과도 화상회의로 인앱 결제와 빅테크 기업 규제 방향에 대해 논의했습니다. 이후에 미국에서도 상하원 양원에서 관련 법안이 제출돼서 한국을 뒤따르고 있습니다. 코로나19 물리적 거리라는 현실적인 장애물을 극복하고 온라인으로 만들어낸 국제적 연대였습니다. 국제적 연대와 공조를 통해서 법안 논의 과정에서 가장 큰 쟁점이었던 통상 이슈 문제를 해결할 수 있었던 것입니다. 두 번째는 안건조정위원회입니다. 안건조정위원회, 이름부터 아마 생소할 것입니다. 대한민국 국회에서도 이런 절차를 실제로 실행한 것이 몇 년 되지 않았습니다. 안건조정위원회는 집중적으로 논의가 필요한 법안에 대해서 여야 6명으로 구성된 별도의 테이블을 만들어서 그 법안만 핵심적으로 토론하는 위원회입니다. 구글 갑질 방지법 논의가 통상 마찰 이슈, 중복 규제 문제, 집중적인 로비 등의 이유로 지지부진하게 흘러갈 때 안건조정위원회 구성을 제안했고 바로 실행에 옮겼습니다. 제가 위원장을 맡아서 3차례 회의를 진행한 끝에 이해관계자의 의견 수렴을 거쳐 통상 중복 규제 이슈를 제거한 법안을 통과시켰습니다. 법안 처리의 핵심적인 절차였던 것이죠. 세 번째로 산업당국과 경쟁당국의 서로 간의 업무 영역의 문제였습니다. 한국 정부기관에는 통신시장을 규율하는 방송통신위원회와 공정거래를 규율하는 공정거래위원회가 있습니다. 그동안 거래상 발생하는 일반적인 불공정 행위에 대해서는 공정거래위원회가 처리하되 통신 분야의 전문적이고 기술적인 영역은 방송통신위원회가 맡아왔습니다. 구글의 인앱 결제 강제 정책은 통신과 공정거래 영역이 중첩된 이슈입니다. 두 위원회 간의 중복 규제 문제는 구글과 애플도 제기했고 두 위원회가 부딪힐 수밖에 없는 주제였습니다. 방통위와 공정위 양측을 여러 번 만나서 의견을 조율했고 두 위원회의 양보를 받아서 합의를 이끌어냈습니다. 처음에는 5가지의 금지 행위를 신선하려던 것에서 앞서 설명했던 특정 결제 방식 강요, 앱 삭제, 앱 심사 지연에 관한 3가지만 구글 갑질 방지법에 담았고 다른 2가지는 경쟁 당국의 몫으로 남겨놨습니다. 마지막으로 2021년 8월 31일 저녁 국회 본회의에서 전기통신사업법 일부 개정 법률안, 일명 구글 갑질 방지법에 대한 제안 설명을 소개하며 오늘의 기조연설을 마무리하도록 하겠습니다.
선배 동료원 여러분, 오늘 전 세계는 대한민국 국회를 주목하고 있습니다. 빅테크 기업에 대한 규제를 대한민국이 제일 먼저 시작합니다. 대한민국이 ICT 강대국일 뿐만 아니라 ICT 정책에 있어서도 강국임을 보여주십시오.
아시아 기술 혁신 학회에서 진행하는 이번 컨퍼런스에서 회원 여러분들 아주 뜻깊은 토론이 진행되시기를 기대하겠습니다. 저도 아시아 기술 혁신 학회와 함께 기술 혁신의 미래에 대해서 늘 고민해 나가도록 하겠습니다. 좋은 시간 부탁드리겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you, Mr. Seungnejo. Finally, we are going to have our third speaker, Mi-ok Moon, President of STEPI. Please welcome her. Thank you.
May I have my presentation in the screen? Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone participating this ASIP conference to drive innovation for sustainable Asia. I'm Mi-ok Moon, the presenter of this session. This is my great honor to give you a talk as the president of STEPI. STEPI is the Science and Technology Policy Institute of Korea. My talk is about the vision, policy, and effort to the prosperity together with Asia and Korea. I believe the prosperity that all humanity has achieved is largely based on the advancement of science and technology. We solve problems we have and we meet, supported by science and technology. In advance, we get new opportunities to advance through innovations. In fact, the advancement of technology is amazing. Perhaps we, all humanity, might have not imagined the progress and the change of our lives by science and technology like this much. Advancing technologies, the world have experienced several times of industrial revolution. Advancing technologies, the world have experienced several times of the industrial revolution. Every industrial innovations made us proceed to new status of different industry and different economy and more different lifestyle. At present, we are accelerating the growth of in technology continuously. What should we do for? What is the most fundamental change for the human life during the advancement of technology and the industrial revolution? In my opinion, it is the escape from the absolute or extreme poverty. Max Roger reported Global Economic Inequality, which is published online at ourworldindata.org in 2013. In his chart, we can compare the global income distribution among all world citizens over the last 2 centuries. In the point of the daily income per capita, which is measured by adjusting for price changes over time and for price differences, that is purchasing power parity adjustment. At 1800, in the era of the first industrial revolution, most of the people was located under the line of the poverty, which is about $2 in international dollar in 2011 prices, regardless of the location of living. Europe in yellow, Asia Pacific in red, and Africa in blue, and the American continent in green. In other words, at the beginning of the 19th century, the huge majority, more than 80% of the world, lived in extreme poverty with an income similar to the poorest countries today. In the year of 1975, 175 years later, the world has changed. The world moved considerably higher incomes, except only Asia Pacific region. But soon after the following 4 decades, the world the world income distribution has again changed drastically. In Southeast Asia, incomes have grown faster than they have in rich countries. Whilst enormous income differences remain, the distribution has shifted to the right. The incomes of many of the world's poorest citizens have increased, and extreme poverty has fallen faster than ever before in human history. Economic Policy Institute of US compared productivity growth and the real median family income growth in the United States from 1947 to 2009. In the post-World War II period through the mid-1970s, the productivity of American workers increased at a steady rate. During this period, workers were rewarded for their increased productivity with a commensurate increase in wages. But from 1980s, productivity continued to increase, but workers' wages stagnated. What's the meaning of the gap? There can be many different points of view and interpretations. One thing is inequality. Other perspective can be considered. This is my point of view. The government and the public sector extend their role to wide ranges and accumulate the social economic infra and asset. The next most fundamental change of the human life during the advancement of technology and the industrial revolution is the work hour. Work is a central part of our lives, the style and quality of life. How much time we spend working can tell us a lot about our lives. The researchers Michelle Huberman and Chris Means published estimate of weekly work hour going back to the late 19th century. This data shows that working hours have steeply declined. Full-time workers in these Europe countries work 20 or even 30 hours less every week than in the 19th century. Similar changes pattern occurred in other wealthy countries. Working less means being able to spend time for education, hobby, sports, and etc. This making our life full of our nature as a human being. Yes, always the most important point of our effort should be checked whether the direction is toward to the human and our planet. Now in Asia Pacific, the share of the world population below the extreme poverty line declined drastically. Now, the expansion of the global middle class went together with progress in reducing global poverty and extreme labor. Now we are going beyond the eradication of extreme poverty for all people everywhere. We look forward the sustainability for all countries, including 17 categories of various goals, from no poverty to peace. Then in this situation, what does the prosperity for? The advancement of technology has been proved to answer the escape from the poverty. To get the sustainability of our prosperity for all countries, STI for SDG is basic. This is agreed by the globe. We can see the differences between MDG and SDG. MDG is focused on the escape of poverty of underdeveloped countries. SDG goals extended to global challenges facing all countries, starting from the eradication of poverty. In the midst of many changes in indicators, resource flows, actors, I want to focus that the major field of action strongly needs the active facilitation of science and technologies, such as challenges in energy, water, cities, and industries. Naturally, STI for SDG is prepared as the international dialogues and the comprehensive effort to utilize STI as a key means to achieve the SDG. In the UN STI Forum in 2021 this year, STI work started to align with the SDG plan in the decade of action to usher in a decade of ambitious action to deliver the goals by 2030. Interactions between STI and SDG emphasis on strengthening links among multi-stakeholders to accelerate STI for SDG. Particularly, interactions among expert communities is key for tackling global challenges and strengthening science diplomacy. A collaborative approach of the technology facilitation mechanism connects technology seekers with providers of technologies and other resources, and support the science-based and solution-oriented approach. Korea's SDG, revised in 2020, highlights on the STI role to tackle global challenges and achieve SDG by connecting National S&T Master Plan and Sustainable Development Basic Plan. And our Korean government designates ministries on each missions. Korea's SDG and STI roles established in 2018 and revised in 2020 to reflect the rapidly changing environment of SDG implementation that Korea faces. While STI is a cross-cutting tool that can contribute to the achievement of all 17 SDGs, the Korean government focuses on the STI role, specifically in the KSDG 9, Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure. 120 technologies in 11 key areas designated in the first Science and Technology Master Plan was listed to address the target 9.3, securing innovative growth engines and new technologies in KSDG. STEPI, my institute, provides extensive professional services in KSDG. For example, 17.3, supporting developing countries to strengthen system for science and technology innovation, as well as KSDG 9. In the vein of our policy, a representative national policy of Korea together with Asian countries is the New Southern Policy. The New Southern Policy aims for a people-centered community of peace and prosperity, forming a multilateral economic and diplomatic framework. It contains 3 pillars and 7 initiatives. 3 pillars are on people, prosperity, and peace. 7 initiatives in New Southern Policy Plus under the vision of the 3P consist of combating COVID-19 and beyond, people-centered education, and shaping a community of great safety and peace, developing industries with innovative technology, enhancing quality of life through infrastructure development, sustainable economic together, and lastly, gaining a deeper mutual understanding through culture. In the point of STI, the New Southern Policy has a task in Initiative 6, developing industries with innovative technology to facilitate the next generation industry and the untapped economy. The endeavors like cooperation in the era of fourth industrial revolution expansion of the R&D cooperation and human exchange, strengthening partnership for startups, and establishing the cooperation platform for future industries are made mutually. Here, we, the STEPI, also plays a role in the course of STI for SDG of Asia. We have been operating K Innovation Partnership Program since 2014. K Innovation Partnership Program is the Korean government's ODA program with specific focus on STI policy consultation, from National STI Master Plan to technology forecast. If you may want to see details of this project, visit session SSA2 tomorrow 4 p.m. of this conference. Recently, we are trying to develop mid and long-term projects for a focused group of countries rather than carrying out various projects in a short term. Cambodia is one of those partner countries which STEPI has engaged for multiple years. We have some good practices and performances. We are conducting the following up project of the National STI Policy of Cambodia, focusing on the pilot programs on technology roadmap. The Cambodian Prime Minister approved the National Science, Technology, and Innovation Policy 2020 to 2030 for the first time in Cambodian national history in 2019. Later, to implement the policy effectively, the Cambodian government approved a bill to change the existing ministry name to the name Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology, and Innovation in January 2020. STEPI has a long history to support STI policy cooperation between Asian and Korean government. We operate Asian-Korean Joint Science Technology Committee, which is a biannual senior level meeting starting in 2013. To encourage, like this conference, to encouraging young scientists and engineers of Asian member states, we have a yearly award in science, technology, and innovation from 2019. We also operate STI training program for STI policy experts and government officials. STI workshop is an important communication channel to discuss overall topics related to STI. All of these activities are approved by Asian member states and supported by the Ministry of Science, Technology, and ICT of Korea. This is the details of our award for the excellence in STI for young scientists and engineers in Asian countries. Now we are in a third year selection process and expect to announce the winner of November. Expect the result together. This year, STEPI resumed its activity in STEPAN. STEPAN is the Science Technology Policy Asian Network. STEPAN was established in actually 1988 and run until 2011 with an association of UNESCO Regional Science Bureau in Jakarta. Once the UNESCO Regional Science Bureau suggests to resume STEPAN's activity, about 16 countries in Asia and Pacific regions got together in the revival meeting early this year. STEPI joined the revival meeting of STEPAN as a national focal point, given the request from the Korean National Commission of UNESCO. 2 STEPI members was elected as vice chair of STEPAN. Their services will continue until 2024. And with UNDP, Korea supports a development program which is based on STI. It has been funded by MSIT since 2011. The program aims to support Asian countries' sustainable development based on STI with perspective of policy, capacity building, and networking. It goes on triangular cooperation mechanism, Korea, UNDP, and partner countries. What direction and what goal should all efforts we have made like this look forward? We should go now, at present, forward majority of humanity to be middle class and to enjoy our own life as a human. Research and development in science and technology and innovation will answer this. Again, I think. In 2019, Korean Ministry of Science, Technology and ICT and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs jointly announced Science and Technology Diplomacy Strategy for Innovative and Inclusive Nation. I was the Vice Minister of MSIT. I'm proud of that policy. The strategy on science diplomacy has been backgrounded on the request of strategic technology cooperation with other countries and the expansion of the role of contribution of STI for global sustainable development. And more, the emerging global challenges such as climate change and security issues. The vision of science and technology diplomacy is establishing the global innovative and inclusive nation with 3 goals and 4 strategies. Now in 2021, after 2 years went past, we have new considerations for developing and implementing the S&T diplomacy strategy. They are the competition of technology security and new technology allies becoming strengthened. The global risks, including climate change and more infectious disease pandemic getting expanded. The demand for leading a new agenda for the post-2030 of SDG based on STI increased. To respond to the domestic and global rising issues and trends, we need to work renovating the governance and infra for the science and technology diplomacy. Establishing legal basis for the national S&T diplomacy strategy is important. And we suggest regular ministerial meetings among MSIT and MOPA. For the first step, STEPI plans to launch S&T Diplomacy Policy Center to support the government and to reinforce the participation of the global STI activities, and more to build the global networks of policy research. We need help and participation of science and technology innovation communities from Korea and from globe. In Korea, we enjoy a long history legend ice cream. Its name is Together. The company manufacturing is Bingre. Bingre means in Korean, smile without the raw sound. Silent, but smiley and strongly. Let's do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, President Lee Ok-moon. In order to keep our time schedule, we are going to implement individual session 220. So now we finish our plenary session. Okay, let's see in the individual session. Thank you.